Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Vacation Family Truckster. And for this update, I'm going to be focusing just on the dashboard because I want to give it that 80s-tastic look and really do some detail work on it. So I'm going to be starting with wood grain pattern because as anybody who's ever owned a late 70s, 80s car knows, the fake plastic wood grain dashboard was a staple of those designs. And this wasn't the nice looking wood veneer, this was a really fake, over-the-top, plasticky look. So I started out, just kind of gave myself some lines on where I wanted this to end up, and for that I used Apple Barrel's Gloss Real Brown. I'm going to be doing basically the same pattern with their burnt umber. Give it some extra texture here. And my paint palette here is nothing too fancy. I've just got a post-it note with a piece of tape on it. So what I'm going to do, just got my fine brush here. Just going to take a little bit and just kind of randomly streak it across. Now again, this is supposed to represent a fake plastic dashboard, so I'm not really going for realistic wood grain. I'm going for something that looks like it's pretending to be wood grain. Alright, that should do it for the glove box. So moving on to the center here. And now onto the instrument cluster part of it. And just doing the same technique, coming in from the edges. I think that just about does it for this shade. Now I'm going to add a little bit more variety using AK Interactive's Flesh and Skin color set. It comes with a bunch of colors here, and I have actually used these for figure painting. I'm not terribly good at it, but I've gotten a little bit of practice. I'm going to start out with some light flesh. Here. And yeah, add a little reddish with their shadow flesh color. Another dot right here. And because these are being blurred together, I'm not going to bother cleaning the brush between them. If a little bit of burnt umber is still mixed in here, that's going to be fine. Otherwise, just doing the same technique, swiping some lines across. Not really being too picky about where they end up other than them all facing the same direction, basically. Yeah, it'd probably help if I actually held it here so you can actually see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Yeah, so doing more horizontal stripes on it. Kind of halfway between smearing and blending at this point. A little bit of this color. Let's try to soften this just a little bit. And you can see, even with the crummy palette and not doing anything very carefully, these paints do mix together really nicely. Up to the center here. And because these paints are aqueous, you can actually mix them up with the apple barrel paints. If I go here to the burnt umber, just put a little bit of that in there, and kind of mix those together too. Again, I really like the AK paints, and as far as bang for your buck, the apple barrel paints are really pretty decent. That's pretty close. I think we're just about done here. Just do a little touch up here. That's way better. Draw that out. All right. And that's it. I know it doesn't look like much at the moment, but now we're going to throw a secret weapon at it and bring it all together. There we go, much better. So what I did was I gave this a full shot of Tamiya TS73 Clear Orange. And this technique can be used for more realistic wood as well. That's what I used on this Benz Patent Motor Wagon. This one was done with a more realistic wood grain. But for this, works just about the same way. Gives it that kind of glossy veneer look. Still looks a little flat at the moment though, so it's time to add some details to it. And we're going to start with the black plastic. And I applied that to the vents, radio face, comfort controls, gauge clusters, steering column controls, and pedal arms. For the pads of the pedals, I did those in flat black instead of the semi-gloss. And for the final detail paint, I'm going to throw some chrome on here. There we go. Got the vent grills, glove box handle, and all the various control knobs. And that basically does it for the dashboard. I haven't decided if I want to try to do the speedometer in paint or if I just want to make a decal out of that. But either way, I'll detail that. The steering column, and that should take care of it. So that's it for this week. I'm going to be doing some assembly work on the interior and seeing about getting that connected to the engine and engine bay. And that will be my update next week. So you can check back then, and thanks for watching.